Innerdelight and welcome to another Joyful Connections episode. And it is a joy to be here today with Kip de Moll. One of the amazing things of connecting globally through this medium of internet is being able to meet people from all over the world. And when Kip and I connected and set this appointment time for today, I found out afterwards it was his birthday today. So happy birthday, Kip, and welcome.
Yeah, it's a very happy one. I'm pleasure to be here and very excited to meet you and talk with you.
Wonderful. Well, I would say to describe you in a very short sentence would be to say that you wear many, many, many different hats. You have so many different sides to you, so many different talents and gifts to share. And I would love for you to share a little bit about what these things are. You know, what is it that makes your heart sing?
It's widespread, but it's also really focused. It's all centered around writing. Since I was really young, I have been passionate and driven to just write. Generally, it was stories. I sort of felt like I'm a storyteller, and I just love to describe situations and circumstances. Now, I always figured I'd be a fiction writer. Loved Ken Kerouac, Ken Kesey, and then all of the normal traditional literary figures. But I got sidetracked by the reality of life and family and putting food on the table, and I became a building contractor. And it actually, because not one to go along and follow, I had to run my own company as opposed to just putting food on the table, and that meant lots of employees and major cash flow, and sort of gave me no opportunity to write. After 30 years of doing that, I realized it was extremely stressful. Wasn't really successful at it. I could, was getting by, and I have beautiful homes that I built and renovated, but it wasn't making my heart sing. And got back in touch with the music and the writing, because I also play music. And some really great songs poured out of me after having hardly touched my guitar in 20 years. And that's what makes you happy. That's what you got to do. So I'm really transformed my life is the catchword these days, and so I'm doing all kinds of projects that are based around this passion to write, to create, to channel this energy that's coming through me to just get out there and describe our humanity and our foibles and our faux pas that we make, and how we rally to recover from them.
Great. So what was the turning point for you? I mean, what was it that made you say, enough of this, time for a new path?
A couple of different points that were significant. It was a hand-to-mouth existence. I needed to come up with about anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 every Friday to make the payroll, and that's a significant challenge, no matter how successful things are. And so, there were some Fridays where it looked like I might. There were a lot of Fridays it looked like I might not make it, and I was doing things like collecting the check from the homeowner and calling up my banker with 5 minutes to closing, telling her I'm 10 minutes away. Could she go ahead and pay the guys and stay open for 5 more minutes, and I would be there to cover the checks. And fortunately, I had a banker who would do that. So we made ends meet. But there was one day I was watching kids get off a school bus, and the bus was holding me up from getting where I needed to go. And I thought, my kids are on a school bus right now, and I'm missing that, and I'm missing, I just realized this job would kill me if I continued at this rate and pace. And the next thing that I did came across a men's group, a weekend retreat that really forced you to look deep down, really deep inside about what makes you operate in the world and what really moves you. And, construction was not there in the slightest. And I really remembered the little kid in me who was joyful and loved to write and played guitar when everybody around him said that was not a good idea. But I kept doing it anyway because just something, I felt better doing it. And so I'm starting to pay attention to what makes you feel good, not the shoulds, that you got to do this and you got to do that and you got to have so much money in your bank account and you've got to be thinking about retirement all the time. That wasn't working. And what seems to be going better is just what I'm waking up in the morning and I have things to do, but it's tuning in to say, I know I should be out there, going to work, and I'm really moved to write this essay. And so I'm more often choosing to write the essay.
Cool. I love that. And so is that also, everything that you have experienced and led up to your writing Zen and the Art of the Midlife Crisis?
It is. And that's what really struck me as odd was, being so dedicated to writing fiction and making up the stories. And I realized I actually have probably one of the more interesting, adventurous, and unconventional stories. That there's a lot of drama, and I'm not even touching some of the big stuff.
That's part two.
Because that involves other people, and that's not fair to them. So I'm keeping it directed and focused on myself and changes that brought the events that brought about changes in my life. So yeah, Zen and the Art of the Midlife Crisis came out of this men's workshop. I realized the blogs were out there and people were putting their journals online, basically. And I took, rather than I got up this morning and had coffee and, had my coffee and did my stuff, I created an essay spontaneously that tried to take it from my story into, if we all could live this way, if we all could pay attention, I know that we're all struggling to understand who we are and what we're here for. And we have good days and bad days, and I have enough bad days that I felt it was good to write about what I do internally to turn those bad days into good days, and hope that's an example of how other people might be able to do that. So out of writing a couple of years worth of blogs, I was headed towards a major surgery and decided, just in case it doesn't turn out well, I woke up with this inspiration to say, instead of like rewriting a book, just take all of these essays, and they just fell into place and themes and created the chapters, and in just a few short days, it actually really fleshed out the whole book. So yeah, been an interesting process.
Wow. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that in our next segment. For people to be able to purchase this book or find out more about you, where can they go?
KipDeMoll.com is the easiest place to remember. Amazon.com is what everybody knows. Googling Zen and the Art of the Midlife Crisis will turn me up in numerous formats. So any of those places. And you can get an ebook in any format, or an actual paperback real live book that you can hold in your hands.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing about this. I know that those watching are going to be able to resonate with this, and either are men or women who have men in their lives who are going through their own crisis. And I'm sure one of the things I think is so great, to just wrap this up, is to hear this being shared from a male perspective. So I'm really excited to hear more.
It's the men's version of Eat, Pray, Love. Only there's no romance, and there's no $100,000 budget or exotic travel. It's it's just boring life.
Never boring.
Exactly.
Well, thanks, Kip, and until the next time, many joyful blessings.
To you too.